Part 3 of my rear-wheel drive Fiesta conversion. I've been busy over this last week doing various parts on the car, and this is where we're at the minute. Engine and trans are now sitting, or engine and gearbox are now actually in the car. They're only really sitting there, but I do need to get proper sump. But at the moment, I'm quite content where the engine is sitting in the car, and that's now going to allow me to make the engine mountings where the engine sits at the minute. It's going to clear the bonnet, which I'm happy with. Couldn't probably go back another maybe inch towards the bulkhead. Over the next coming weeks, I will be making my own water rail from scratch for the thermostat. So I'll be getting rid of that inlet manifold. Also, be finishing off my strut tops, putting a brace from there to there, strut brace, then bracing both struts to the front of the car, and then welding right round, and then making a brace here to the inside of the wings. Another thing has to be completed lastly on the front is the anti-roll bar brackets. So I have those coming, and then I'm going to mount them, fabricate them, mount them. And once there's the struts and anti-roll bar done, that's the front end of the car finished. Bar obviously a bell house, the floor. If you go to the inside of the car, then you can see that the gearbox, where it sits. Again, in the next few weeks, then I'm going to be making the engine mounting for there for the gearbox itself. It should be pretty straightforward, I think. I'm putting pictures up on Instagram of the build. It's not too bad. I'm quite content. I'm gonna have to follow this the whole way back, and then once I get it back to here at the rear of the car, that whole floor is coming out, and we'll be putting in the multi-link in the rear of the car. So far so good. Making good time. Again, please ignore the outside of the car at the time being. For me, the bodywork is the last thing on my mind. I know the car is a clean shell, and that's all I need to know for the time being. Then, once I have drivetrain bolted to the car, then I can start worrying about radiators and pipes and inlet manifolds. I have a set of twin Weber 40s for here, which is going to look absolutely class once all mounted into the car. Considering a cheap alternative to buying a Jap speed exhaust for this side, Mark 1 MX5, I believe, I think will fit in there nicely. Maybe with a bit of altercations, but it is cheaper to buy an MX5 exhaust than it is to buy a rear-wheel drive Z-Tech manifold. So another thing for me to consider. I will be running the exhaust parallel the inside of the tunnel, so I'll be making space in the inside of my tunnel for the exhaust to run in line with the drive line. So it means that it's not hanging underneath the car. But that's it for part 3 at this stage. And stay tuned. If you want to check out the build itself and more pictures, more detail, you can do on the Instagram page, the Mark 2 Ford Fiesta rear-wheel drive. Get on board, start following, and you will get weekly updates of what I've done, whether it be engine mountings, brackets, turrets, tunnel. It's all going to be there. Okay, so that's me for today. Thank you, and good luck.